This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Here's what's making headlines on this March 18th. A second death related to coronavirus has been reported in Indiana. The executive order the governor is issuing to further address the virus.
And the coronavirus altering life for many Americans, and the fear of the unknown can be a trigger for those with mental health issues. What health professionals say you can do to help yourself and others.
And a Purdue grad is on lockdown with her family in Italy. How her and her 5 kids are dealing with the worldwide impacts of COVID-19. But first, we need to get a check of your Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right, and it is a Storm Team 6 alert day for our Wednesday after a beautiful Tuesday. Todd, what can we expect today?
You know, more rain is in the forecast, unfortunately. We've been able to salvage some of these dry days here and there, and then we get the rain coming in, and this is going to be the beginning of what's going to be a fairly wet stretch of weather that's going to take us all the way into the day on Friday. Now, this morning we are quiet. We don't have a whole lot going on, just clouds across the area. It's a little on the cool side with temperatures that are in the 30s and 40s, but there is a lot of rainfall off to our west, and all this is going to be heading our direction throughout the day today. This is the first wave that comes through today and tonight, and then there's a second wave that's going to come through during the day tomorrow. So it's going to be several waves of rain, so it's not a steady rainfall from this afternoon all the way through Friday, but it's going to be a very wet stretch of weather. 37 in Peru, 41 in Indy right now, 42 is the current temperature in Bloomington. So as you plan out your day, definitely grab the umbrella as you walk out the door. You are going to need it at some point if you are going to be out and about, as we'll be dealing with that rain as it starts to develop. Temperatures in the 40s throughout much of the daytime hours today. Our high actually occurs close to midnight, as we'll see those temperatures eventually surge up into the mid-50s.
Todd, thank you. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. This is a look at I-65 and Keystone Avenue on the near south side of town. You can see traffic is moving along just fine. Right now around central Indiana, I'm not monitoring any crashes or delays.
State leaders are taking more action after a second death from the coronavirus was confirmed in Indiana. Health officials say the patient was a 91-year-old woman from Johnson County. She passed away at St. Francis Hospital South. The health department says 6 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed across the state. Those coming from Marion, Lake, and Franklin counties. A total of 30 people have now been reported with the virus statewide. A Marion County woman was the state's first COVID-19 related death. In response, Governor Eric Holcomb announced he is activating the National Guard to help with the outbreak. Holcomb says the Guard will be on duty to assist as needed. According to the governor's press secretary, the National Guard will be involved in planning and preparation with other state agencies. They will also do things like assisting with distributing hospital supplies.
And we are learning more about the first person in Indiana to die from that virus. Roberta Shelton from Marion County passed away yesterday. Al Rafael Sanchez found out that Shelton advocated for the families of Abby Williams and Libby German, the Delphi girls killed in 2017. She hosted a concert and other awareness events to support the families and find the killer. Via FaceTime, Libby's grandmother expressed her condolences and her appreciation for Shelton.
She was wonderful. She was a huge advocate for Abby and Libby. She helped keep the story out there. But not just for Abby and Libby. She was an advocate for anybody that needed it.
Those who knew Roberta remember her for being action-oriented and giving.
While restaurants and businesses are dealing with closures, grocery stores are having a very different problem. As people stock up on items for cleaning and social distancing, they're having a hard time keeping shelves full. Some stores like Target have started limiting hours to give workers more time to get ready for customers before opening again. Others, like Dollar General, have shifted their first hour of operation to be dedicated to seniors in an effort to keep them away from crowds. We talked to workers and customers about their experience.
Toilet paper, but there wasn't any, and eggs, but there wasn't any, and ground beef, but there wasn't any.
Went through the bread aisle and that was completely ransacked. So it's looking a bit hectic.
In an effort to keep store shelves stocked, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb signed an executive order last week. It lifts regulations on commercial vehicles transporting goods to retailers. While stores are busy, Kroger says it's hiring more employees to meet demand. The chain has immediate openings for the Kroger pickup team, cashiers, manufacturing plants, and distribution centers. If you are interested, you can apply at a neighborhood Kroger or submit an application online. You can find a link at our website, theindychannel.com.
In less than 24 hours, Indiana raised more than $200,000 to meet Colts owner Jim Irsay's challenge to help Gleaners Food Bank. On Monday, Irsay said that he would contribute $1 million if the state could complete the challenge. Gleaners president and CEO John Elliott said the response was overwhelming and exceeded their expectations. The donations come at a critical time as the food bank is seeing record numbers because of the coronavirus closures. Gleaners distributed nearly 1,200 emergency food boxes yesterday alone. Irsay says that he's proud of the city for coming together for that community.
The response to COVID-19 is changing on a daily basis. The virus altering life for so many of us, and the fear of the unknown can be a trigger for those who deal with mental health issues. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with a mental health professional on how you can help yourself and others.
Staying home for days on end can make anyone uneasy. But for those who are already dealing with mental illnesses, something like this can trigger or worsen the anxiety that they're already feeling. I spoke with clinical therapist Joel Hutton via FaceTime, and he says he has seen an uptick in clients reaching out for advice on how to handle their anxieties. He says the main type of anxiety he's seeing right now is dread, people anticipating the worst about the future. He says when your mind starts to wander, it's important to bring yourself back to what's happening right now.
One of my main words of advice is to trust yourself. You have navigated unexpected circumstances hundreds, if not thousands of times throughout your life. And so even if unexpected circumstances happen as a result of the coronavirus, you can trust yourself to navigate those situations.
He says 3 things you need to keep in mind right now are to stay in the present, trust yourself, and look for support from others. Hutton says right now it's more important than ever that if you have a family member or a friend who battles mental illnesses, that you reach out to them right now and offer them help in any way you can, even if it's just listening to them. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. More universities are canceling commencement ceremonies amid the coronavirus outbreak. Purdue University says it's canceling in-person commencement and is working on alternate plans. Butler and Indiana State University have also canceled their ceremonies. Indiana University says they are still working to decide on what they will do. Others, like Notre Dame, with graduation planned in mid-May, say they are holding out hope their events will be able to go on as planned.
As we're starting to adjust to a new reality with the COVID-19 restrictions, some Americans who live in Italy are already more than a week into self-quarantine restrictions. Our Alyssa Donovan spoke to an Indiana woman who lives in Naples, Italy with her family. Alyssa, what's their story?
So she and her husband are stationed there in Naples for the military, and she honestly has a very good outlook on what is going on right now around her. But she does have some advice for us at home who are just starting to deal with the impacts of coronavirus. Sarah and her husband and their 5 kids are making the best of the restrictions at their Naples home. She sent me this video of the kids playing and doing homework and the view from their house. One of the benefits for their family is that they already homeschool, so the routine of being at home most of the day during the week is not a huge adjustment. Sarah says that they are still doing schoolwork the first half of the day, but then they have to get creative in the afternoon and evenings. One night, her and her husband camped in the backyard with the kids. She says they're fairly lucky compared to some other people around them under the restrictions. She says the only thing that is open publicly are pharmacies, grocery stores, and if you want to go out, there are some steps you have to take.
We have to carry a little certificate saying where we are going if we do leave the house.
Wow.
So if we get stopped by the Carabinieri, which is the police, we have to show them what we're doing.
and she says the most difficult part of the situation is the lack of social interaction with her friends. And I did ask her if she has any advice for her friends back here at home who are just starting to deal with the impacts of coronavirus, and she said simply, take it seriously. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. RTV6 is working for you, compiling the latest information on the coronavirus all in one spot. You can find that on the indychannel.com/coronavirus. In other news today, we got to get a check of our Storm Team 6 forecast. It's an alert day, Todd. What do folks need to know?
Yeah, a lot of people will be out and about here, maybe getting out of the house to walk around the neighborhood. Some of you still going to work, and you need to know you need to grab the umbrella if you're going to be out and about. Really, from about the noon hour onward, I think, is the time frame that we're going to start to run into some issues. If you are commuting to work this morning, you are dealing with just mostly cloudy skies across the area and temperatures on average that are right around 40 degrees. So this morning is not the issue, at least the next couple hours. By the time we get to mid to late morning, that's when we'll start to see a few scattered showers build into the forecast. And this rain is off to our west right now, but it will be heading in our direction as the day goes on. So we're dry through 7 a.m., just a few spotty showers by 10 a.m. It's really noon onward that we get into the steady rainfall before it starts to taper off later on this evening. So this afternoon, this evening are the wettest time frames of the day. We'll walk you through this round of rain using TrueCast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Some primaries were still held yesterday despite concerns over the coronavirus. Coming up, the candidate getting ahead after sweeping all 3 states.
And former High School Musical actress Vanessa Hudgens apologizing after her comments about the coronavirus. Still had what she said that is now getting slammed on social media.
On its new night, tonight on ABC.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Here's a live look right now at traffic up on the northwest side of town, I-465 and West 86th Street. You can see traffic here still quiet this morning. We'll keep you updated.
Despite the coronavirus, voters still turned out for primary elections in 3 states. Former Vice President Joe Biden projected to win all 3, Florida, Arizona, and Illinois. The wins widening his lead over rival candidate Senator Bernie Sanders. Ohio was set to vote as well yesterday, but it was canceled because of COVID-19. In a video message last night, Biden celebrated his success and also addressed the outbreak.
This pandemic has impacted every aspect of our lives and every aspect of this campaign. But most of all, my heart goes out to all of those of you who have lost a loved one, to those who have contracted the virus, to all the brave Americans who are working harder than ever to help their neighbors.
The next round of primaries is scheduled for April 4th.
Indiana is not scheduled to hold its primaries until May, but one local county is encouraging residents to file for absentee ballots so they don't have to vote in person in case of exposure. The Hamilton County Clerk, Kathy Williams, says that older adults and those with serious chronic health conditions should vote absentee. You are eligible to do so by mail if you are confined to your home, hospital, or nursing home due to illness. If you're caring for someone who's confined because of illness, or if you are 65 years of age or older.
The total number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. has risen to more than 5,300. To help, the Navy could be getting ready to launch 2 hospital ships and a mobile field hospital. Officials say Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley is preparing to sign orders to authorize the deployments. One hospital ship is currently in San Diego, the other in Norfolk, Virginia. The Navy was ordered to ready those ships last week. One issue facing the deployments, however, is that medical staff would have to be moved from other facilities to staff those ships.
Macy's, Nordstrom, and Bloomingdale's are all closing their department stores because of COVID-19. Macy's and Bloomingdale's will also be closed through at least March 31st. Macy's says it will continue to pay and provide benefits for its employees. Nordstrom says their stores will be closed for 2 weeks. Online shopping, of course, is still available. The world's largest hotel chain says it started furloughing employees because of this pandemic. Marriott International says the demand for hotel services has tanked and it needs to cut costs. The company plans to let go of tens of thousands of workers without pay. They will include anyone from housekeepers to general managers. Marriott did say that they plan to rehire some of the employees when the virus is contained.
A new study says the novel coronavirus can remain infectious on surfaces like plastic and steel for up to 3 days. How long the virus survives depends on the surface it's on. For example, COVID-19 can be infectious on cardboard for up to 24 hours. It can also linger in the air for up to 3 hours. Researchers say COVID-19 is a lot like SARS in that way, and that frequently deep cleaning all surfaces could really make a difference in preventing the disease. Here at 517, we're going to have a lot of rainfall out there this morning or throughout the day, Todd.
Yeah, this morning we're pretty dry. It's later on this afternoon that it turns very wet across the area. So it is a Storm Team 6 alert day because of that. Impact level is medium. Almost everybody's going to be dealing with this. There'll be a few pockets of heavy rainfall, but it's more of a light, steady rain than anything. But nonetheless, it will alter your plans if you are going to be out and about throughout the course of this afternoon and into the evening hours, running to the grocery store or maybe just trying to get out of the house for a little bit of fresh air, walking around the neighborhood. You'll definitely need to have the umbrella handy. It's quiet though right now. It's quiet for the next few hours. If you do have to commute into work this morning, you will be just fine. That precipitation you see to the north, that's going to bypass us to the north. Not an issue for us, but here's all the rainfall that's off to our west, and it's actually going to expand in coverage as it makes its way into our area. So it's going to turn again into a soggy afternoon for us. There could be a few spotty showers as we work our way into the middle half of the morning, but no widespread rain this morning. That changes though by the time we get to the noon hour and beyond. Look at the rain. It develops across the area. Again, some pockets of moderate, some maybe heavy rain in spots. Not expecting any thunder today. And a lot of this is along a warm front that's going to be working its way through the area. And as that warm front goes through, our temperatures are going to slowly start to climb, but these showers linger all the way till about the 9 o'clock hour. Our high temperature, as you'll see on my 7-day planning forecast, is in the 50s. And when I show you this, you said, oh, Todd, I only see the 40s. Well, our high today is actually going to occur closer to midnight with this warm front coming through. So we're going to be in the 40s throughout much of the day. So it's kind of a chilly rain that'll be impacting us. But that'll set the stage this evening for the warmer air to work in. And then look at temperatures tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going all the way up into the mid-60s. The problem is tomorrow is basically a repeat performance. We start the day off dry, but then the next round of rain comes in by the noon hour, and then throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours, we'll deal with some scattered showers moving through. The one difference is tomorrow there will be the chance of a few thunderstorms in the forecast. Storm Prediction Center has the entire state for tomorrow under the marginal risk for severe weather. The cold front goes through on Friday. That gets rid of all the rain in the forecast for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday is going to be bright. It's just going to be a lot colder with high temperatures anywhere from 40 to 46 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on your roads this morning. Here's a live look at I-70 near Minhofer Road. Traffic's moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. No major delays to slow you down, so let's take you up to the Fishers area. I-69, this is a live picture near 106th Street. Traffic's moving along just fine this morning. Of course, we'll keep you updated on any crashes or delays.
Actress Vanessa Hudgens is now apologizing for remarks she made about the coronavirus outbreak, specifically for saying this in her Instagram post after President Trump warned that American life may not go back to normal until July.
Yeah, till July sounds like a bunch of I'm sorry, but like, it's a virus. I get it. Like, I respect it. But at the same time, like, even if everybody gets it, like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now.
The former High School Musical star was slammed online as being insensitive, privileged, and out of touch. She later tweeted that she realizes her words were not appropriate and that it was a wake-up call about how much words matter.
It is 5:21. Major League Baseball teams are donating millions of dollars to help ballpark employees. The season has been delayed until mid-May due to the coronavirus. MLB commissioner says that each of the league's 30 teams will contribute $1 million to help the workers keep the ballparks operating. Each Each team is expected to release more about how their donations will be used in their communities.
If you're missing movie nights with friends during social distancing, Google Chrome and Netflix have a solution. It's called a Netflix party. The Chrome extension allows you to watch and chat with your friends from separate locations. All you have to do is download it, start watching Netflix, and then click on the NP icon on the toolbar. It will give you a web address to send to anyone that also has the feature installed. You can then chat and even pause and restart the video when needed.
While many are self-quarantining, 2 young children in Ohio surprised their neighbor with a fun but safe visit. After the break, the story behind this heartwarming video that is now going viral. It's 5:22. We'll be right back.
100 crew cab pickups.
Self-isolating during the coronavirus outbreak can get lonely, and some communities are finding ways to support each other. For one woman in Ohio, it was a personal concert from her neighbors that brightened her day. 9-year-old Taryn and his sister Calliope dressed up for their big performance on their neighbor Helena Schlam's porch. They both played their cellos a safe distance away. A video of the heartwarming moment has since gone viral. The kids' mother says they have been performing for family members over FaceTime as a school assignment, and that this performance was a happy and helpful experience for everyone. And they're getting some practice in too. How sweet.
I love how they dressed
there's a good idea if your kids play an instrument. Maybe they can do that for their neighborhood, but they will want to sit under that covered porch, Todd, today.
Yeah, this afternoon here in central Indiana. Going to turn into a wet one, no doubt about that. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s right now, but as you see on Storm Team 6 radar in the center of your screen, we are completely rain-free, and that's the way it stays for a few more hours. So it's a dry start today. Rain develops here throughout the afternoon hours. That high in the mid-50s. Just know that occurs late in the day, close to midnight. Most of the afternoon hours will be spent in the 40s. The time now is 5:27. We're back in just a few minutes.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
A second Hoosier has died from COVID-19. How state leaders are stepping up their efforts to combat this deadly virus. And we've entered a new normal with the travel restrictions and the quarantine measures. We're working for you this morning with how you can make sure that your mental health is taken care of during these difficult times. Thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana at 5:30. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Meteorologist Todd Clausen standing by in this Storm Team 6 alert day. Todd, things are quiet right now, but that is all about to change.
Yeah, a lot of rainfall is going to be heading our way this afternoon. It's going to turn into a pretty wet day, and that's why we're in alert mode. I know a lot of you have had to alter your lives a little bit with everything going on with the coronavirus. Some of you heading to work, some of you staying home, some of you maybe want to get out of the house just for a walk around the neighborhood, get a little bit of fresh air. So that's why we're in alert mode for you here throughout the day today. It's a mainly dry morning. A few spotty showers may build in as we get into the 10 and 11 o'clock hour, but it's really noon to 4 p.m. that we get into a pretty good steady rain for most of us. And the rain could actually be a little heavy at times. Then this evening, the rain will start to taper off once we get past sunset, which is right around 8 o'clock this evening. Storm Team 6 radar currently here in central Indiana is dry. We have the clouds obviously in place across the area, but no precipitation. Then back off to our west, we are going to be dealing with this rain moving in, as I mentioned, late morning into the afternoon hours. It's all rain though. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s right now as we work our way throughout the day. Our high is actually not going to occur until 10, 11 o'clock of this evening, but we will be above freezing throughout the rain event as temperatures will be climbing, Lauren, up into the mid to upper 40s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping it close on your roads this Wednesday morning, and here's a live look over on the west side. This is I-465 and West 21st Street. You can see traffic there is traveling up to speed. No major delays to slow you down.
Another person has died in the Hoosier State from the COVID-19 outbreak. This morning, the Department of Health says a 91-year-old woman from Johnson County is the state's second coronavirus death. Health officials also report a total of 6 new cases of the virus across the state. 2 new cases each are reported in Marion, Lake, and Franklin counties. This morning, health officials say a total of 30 people have contracted COVID-19 in Indiana. Governor Eric Holcomb has activated the Indiana National Guard in an effort to slow the spread of COVID-19. The governor says the National Guard will be on duty to assist as needed. This morning, the Guard's exact duties are still unclear. We'll be sure to update you once we learn more.
It is 5:32. Restaurants and bars are taking a big hit by the rules prohibiting them from serving patrons in person. Some owners are taking their concerns surrounding employee pay directly to the mayor of Indianapolis. While sympathizing with Indy's business community, Mayor Joe Hogsett says unemployment is handled at the state and federal level. Eddie Somm is among the restaurant operators petitioning for unemployment benefits to all hourly and salaried workers. He says that issue needs attention from elected officials in positions much higher than the mayor.
Right now, we're looking for leadership from anyone in a federal position. There's things that are on the table, things that are getting voted on, but what we really want is a plan. We can't have plan A through Z.
But he says he's doing what he can by spending his own money in local restaurants. He's also amending city procedures, like converting parking meters to carry-out and pickup zones.
Many restaurants and bars are doing what they can to support their employees during this difficult time. That includes Ale Emporium, the popular bar on 86th and Allisonville Road on the northeast side of Indianapolis is usually packed. Well, that will not be the case for at least a few more weeks. Workers there will still get an income. The owner of Ale plans to continue paying kitchen and salaried staff their normal wages and paying tipped employees their average weekly rate.
They've all been really appreciative. We just thought it was the right thing to do, and I think they all know that.
It's wonderful. I mean, I've worked here on and off for 18 years. I mean, obviously, it's a wonderful company and a wonderful family to work for. They definitely embrace their core family values, and that's what they're going to do with us. They're not going to let anyone, go without. They're going to do everything they can. They always have. They always will.
Owner Scott Bond says there are about 300 employees combined at Ale's 3 locations. He says he will also be providing staff and their families with 1 free meal per day.
At 5:30, 4 more coronavirus tests could be available this week. The testing is pretty straightforward, though it may be a little bit uncomfortable for you. It's similar to a flu test. A healthcare worker would use a long swab to collect sails from deep inside your nose. It's actually the area where your respiratory tract reaches the back of your mouth. Swabbing takes about 10 seconds if you sit still. A lab will then process those results. Vice President Mike Pence has said about 2,000 more labs will be able to offer these high-speed testings starting this week. The response to COVID-19 is changing on a daily basis, the virus altering life for so many people, and the fear of the unknown can be a trigger for anyone who deals with mental health issues. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with a mental health professional on how you can help yourself and others. Kelsey, good morning.
Store shelves are empty. Health officials are recommending you stay at home, and things are changing every single day when it comes to COVID-19, something that health officials say could trigger someone's anxiety.
So one of the best things that we can do now is root ourselves into the present and what's happening right now.
Advice Joel Hutton is lending during this challenging time. The clinical therapist has seen an uptick in new patients at Indy Therapy Counseling, many feeling anxiety over the uncertainty surrounding the coronavirus.
Yeah, we really have. And even people that I've been seeing for a while, it's high up on the list, or at least somewhere on the list of anxieties or worries, concerns that are happening. Everybody kind of takes it to a different degree.
We chatted via FaceTime in an effort to maintain social distancing, and he tells me a lot of what his patients are feeling right now is dread.
We begin to anticipate the future, and most often the worst case scenario.
Hutton says the feeling of uncertainty is normal, and he wants to remind people struggling that they have dealt with unexpected situations before.
You have navigated unexpected circumstances hundreds, if not thousands of times throughout your life. And so even if unexpected circumstances happen as a result of the coronavirus, you can trust yourself to navigate those situations.
If you are feeling fine, Hutton recommends reaching out to loved ones and friends. Let them know you are available to just listen.
Just to listen and not necessarily try to fix. Ask them what they need, ask them what you can do for them, encourage them to stay in the moment.
Hutton says oftentimes when things like this are happening, our brains tend to wander, and they often go to places that are far worse than reality. He says when that happens, it's important to bring yourself back and ground yourself in what's happening right now. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. While we adjust to the changes of daily life due to the coronavirus, people in Italy remain on lockdown. Some of those people, Americans based in the country for military purposes. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. And Alyssa, you spoke with an Indiana woman who is on lockdown in Naples.
That's right, Meredith. She, her husband, and their 5 kids between the ages of 3 and 11 years old have been on lockdown in their home since last Monday. Now, Sarah and her family have lived in Italy for 2 years. She says they are fortunate at this time that the kids are normally homeschooled, so the change isn't major. Right now, they're still doing their schoolwork during the morning. The afternoons and evenings is when the family has to get creative. Sarah says the restrictions mean they can't leave their municipalities, and if they have to leave their house to go to the grocery store or pharmacy, which are the only things that are open, they have to carry a certificate stating where they are going in case they are stopped by the police. The family was paying attention to the spreading coronavirus, but she says they never thought it would get to this point.
We weren't expecting it. Honestly, I don't think many of us here took it seriously until the decree was announced about the lockdown. In general, I think people will exercise their freedom as much as they are allowed.
And Sarah says after schools were initially closed, people were still congregating where they could in public places and restaurants. So she completely understands why the lockdown needed to happen. Sarah also tells me that they've been watching the news there in Italy and have noticed that the hospitals are getting overburdened, but they've also been paying attention to what's going on in the United States. And she appreciates that there's so much focus here on flattening the curve to prevent something like that from happening here. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Great perspective from her, Alyssa. Thank you so much. As coronavirus pandemic continues to get worse, many people are worried about their health. That is especially true for those who are carrying the next generation. There's a lot we don't know about COVID-19, and that's why doctors have now placed pregnant women in the same risk category as those who are elderly and or have underlying health issues. Doctors say expecting mothers in this category using what they know about how susceptible pregnant women are to other health conditions.
We're relying on our experiences with other respiratory illnesses like influenza and SARS. And in those respiratory illnesses, pregnant women are at higher risk for being hospitalized and for having much more severe symptoms.
So far, there have not been any definitive cases of pregnant women passing it along to their children in the womb. Doctors say that they're still learning more about COVID-19 and the impact it can have on someone who's pregnant.
This morning, there is an urgent need for blood donors. IndyCar driver James Hinchcliffe knows the importance of blood donations after nearly losing his life during an Indy 500 practice. Hinch lost 22 pints of blood in the crash nearly 5 years ago. That is twice the blood volume for a person like you or me. Since the coronavirus outbreak, the Red Cross says they've had 2,700 blood drives canceled. All those canceled drives means nearly 87,000 pints of blood aren't making their way to blood banks.
Most of the blood that the Red Cross collects comes from drives at schools, high schools, universities, colleges, big businesses. Right. Obviously, all that shut down. So a lot of the deposits that you're getting in the blood bank are just not happening right now.
The mayor of Indianapolis, Joe Hogsett, joined the mayor of Hinchtown in giving blood on Tuesday. If you're interested in giving blood, you can visit redcross.org to set up an appointment. And this may be something great for someone to do today, Todd, because we aren't going to want to be outdoors.
Yeah, you know, this afternoon, this evening, it's going to be raining. So that's a great way to, one, give back and give yourself something to do here across the area, as it is going to turn into a pretty wet day. We'll give you the green light, which is mostly cloudy skies for your commute commute into work. If you do have to head in, your commute home from work's a different story. Those windshield wipers, they will be working overtime as a steady rain is going to develop across the area. So we're going to give you the caution sign light for your commute home. Here's the rain as of right now. Right now, it kind of just looks like a big thin band of rain that stretches from Minnesota and Wisconsin all the way down into parts of Texas. Well, this is going to fill in and expand, and it's going to become more of what you would normally see as an area of low pressure as it makes its way through our area. So our rainfall totals today, our coverage will go from spotty to steady as we work our way throughout the day. So we are going to turn into a wet day. I hit the button an extra time. Let me go backwards because we are not going to get into the 60s. More on the rain coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, wishful thinking. It will be another busy day in Washington as leaders continue to work on methods to combat the spread and the economic impact of the coronavirus. Straight ahead, we're breaking down what's happening on Capitol Hill today and how this could affect you. We'll be right back.
Nature inspired, planet conscious.
President Trump now urging Congress to deploy $1 trillion right away, including money that would be heading your way. As ABC's Alex Prochet reports, the checks would be sent to American families hurt by coronavirus.
President Trump is urging Congress to inject up to $1 trillion into the economy to fight novel coronavirus.
We're going big.
One big piece of this plan, still under negotiation, direct cash payments to most Americans. It's unclear how much. Senator Mitt Romney has proposed $1,000 per person.
Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
The plan would also include $500 billion in a payroll tax cut, $50 billion for the airline industry, and $250 billion for small business loans. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin telling Senate Republicans the U.S. could see 20% unemployment without government intervention. The plan coming as many states and cities opt to shutter bars and restaurants.
We're asking the young people to help us with this mitigation strategy by staying out of the bars, staying out of the restaurants, really trying to distance yourself.
Millions in the industry left reeling.
So in total, how many employees are you?
200.
200? Have they confided in you about worried about rent and paying bills?
You can see fear in their eyes. You can see it.
Cities and states navigating how to cut off the virus's spread. Governor Andrew Cuomo saying New York City won't go the way of San Francisco's Bay Area.
I have no interest whatsoever and no plan whatsoever to quarantine any city.
Healthcare workers now bracing for a surge in patients and a shortage of medical supplies. The Navy is readying 2 hospital ships for possible deployment to assist with patients who don't have the virus, freeing up valuable hospital beds. The Pentagon is also stepping in, offering 5 million respirator masks and 2,000 ventilators to Health and Human Services to help with this outbreak. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Washington.
Airlines say they need $50 billion in bailout money and operating costs amid the novel coronavirus outbreak. President Trump is expected to speak with airline executives on a call at the White House today. He'll also hold a call with doctors and a briefing with nurses on the front line of the pandemic. The coronavirus task force holds its daily briefing as well. Back here at home, it is 5:48. Let's toss things over to Todd for our Storm Team 6 forecast.
And it's a Storm Team 6 alert day. You heard the beep there, alerting you to something that's going to be changing your daily routine here. Obviously, the coronavirus has, but as far as weather related, if you are going to be out and about here throughout the day, we are going to be dealing with quite a bit of rainfall heading our way. Radar is quiet right now, so it's not this morning that you have to worry about things across the area. It's mainly late morning, early afternoon that we're going to start to get into this rain. You see the clouds already in place across the area. Here's the rain that's heading our way, and it's a lot of rainfall. It stretches where it mixes with snow all the way in Wisconsin down into Texas. This is going to fill in even more as it starts to make its way eastward across the country. Let me time it out for you on TrueCast. By the time we get to mid to late morning, there could be a few spotty showers that are starting to build in, but it's really from, I would say, noon to 7 o'clock that we deal with this steady rainfall, which will include some heavier downpours at times throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. By 4 o'clock, starting your commute home, if you are heading into to work. And it's going to be a pretty wet one still across the area. And then this rain will start to taper off by 7, 8 o'clock this evening. So it's pretty steady throughout much of the afternoon and into the evening hours. And then we'll get a break overnight, only for a second round of rain to head our way for the day tomorrow. So your Wednesday planner features the rain moving in. You notice the temperature trend here will be in the 40s throughout much of the afternoon. And then once we get to the evening hours, you notice we make the jump into the 50s. That's not even our high temperature. Our high today is actually going to occur as we get closer to the midnight hour. So it's a very late day high temperature for us, but that warmer air will continue to move in throughout the day tomorrow. And look at that, temperatures tomorrow all the way up into the mid to upper 60s across the area with showers, and tomorrow we'll throw in the chance of some thunderstorms as well. This is going to be a pretty big soaking rain for us. I'm going to stop this at tomorrow morning. So this is the first round of rain, and everybody's going to see between about a ½ an inch and an inch of rain today. Now I'm going to add in the rain that's heading our way tomorrow, and you can see most locations are generally going to be between about 1.5 inches and 2 inches of rain by the time we get to Friday morning. So this is a pretty good soaking rain for us that's going to be heading our way in spurts. Tomorrow with the thunderstorms, there is the marginal risk of a severe weather. And speaking of severe weather, today was supposed to be the tornado drill, the statewide tornado drill. That will not happen. The National Weather Service has postponed that. And then as we go throughout the rest of the week, Saturday and Sunday, quiet with sunshine and temperatures in the mid-40s.
Todd, thanks. Here's a live look right now at traffic on the northeast side, I-465 and Fall Creek Road. You can see traffic is starting to pick up on that side of town this morning. Everything's traveling smoothly right now around the metro area and across central Indiana. We're not monitoring any major crashes or delays to slow down your commute.
Facebook is working to fix a bug that has been blocking information about the coronavirus. The company's vice president says the platform's anti-spam system has been accidentally stopping publication of news stories about the illness. Many users have complained that links to school closures and other information haven't been working. Earlier this week, Facebook reportedly sent its human content moderators home, meaning the company has solely been relying on an automated system.
A North Carolina woman didn't let the coronavirus quarantine stop her from sharing a special moment with her grandfather. Coming up, how staff at the senior living facility helped her to pull off a big surprise. We'll be right back.
To make a difference.
The coronavirus is no match for a granddaughter's love. Carly Boyd got engaged over the weekend and immediately wanted to share the news with her grandfather, but he's in a nursing home, and like most facilities, Premier Living and Rehab Center is closed to visitors right now. So staff helped her to surprise him. You can see the video, or picture rather, here. Carly came to the back window of his room and the staff snapped some of these photos of the big announcement. Carly says her grandfather has dementia and no phone access, so she was grateful to the staff for helping to make this special moment happen. That is awesome.
Very sweet there, and we've seen a lot of images like that over the past few days. Gives us some hope in the midst of a lot of uncertainty.
That's right.
Here at 5:56, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day. Todd, we are going to have a lot of rainfall coming our way.
Yeah, I was telling Meredith and Lauren yesterday, I went outside, did some yard work, went for a run, because today I knew it would be the house cleaning day, because we are going to see a lot of rainfall heading our way. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Storm Team 6 radar right now is very quiet. We are not going to be dealing with any rain until probably around 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Then the real steady rain that is going to develop as we work our way into the afternoon hours. So it's a dry start. That steady rain develops, though. Once it starts, it's steady through about 7, 8 o'clock this evening. A late day high temperature of 56 degrees will be in the 40s throughout much of the afternoon.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Coming up in the next half hour, if you've been to the grocery store recently, you've likely seen empty shelves. We're working for you this morning with what many stores are doing to make sure you have what you need.
And at 6:30, Hoosiers helping Hoosiers. We head down to Johnson County, where one nonprofit is stepping up to take care of families in its community, and we'll let you know how you can help.